Russia is not just a country, it is an entire world shaped by extremes. From frozen landscapes to colorful cities, from endless forests to silent plains, Russia feels cinematic from the very first moment. It is a land where beauty and harshness exist side by side, where history feels heavy in the air, and where silence often speaks louder than sound. Traveling through Russia feels like traveling across multiple dimensions. Distances are massive, climates change suddenly, and the scale of the land feels almost impossible to understand. Russia is not loud or flashy. It is deep, serious, and emotional. Every place carries weight, memory, and strength built over centuries. Many journeys begin in Moscow, the capital city and political heart of Russia. Moscow feels powerful, intense, and monumental. Wide roads stretch endlessly, skyscrapers and Soviet-era buildings stand strong, and the city moves with discipline and control. Moscow does not try to impress, it commands attention. At the heart of the city lies Red Square, one of the most iconic locations in the world. Standing here feels surreal. On one side stands the colorful St. Basil's Cathedral, with its onion-shaped domes painted in bright patterns. In winter, when snow covers the ground and soft light reflects off the walls, the cathedral looks like something from a dream. Opposite St. Basil's rises the Kremlin, a massive fortress of red walls, towers, and palaces. For centuries, the Kremlin has been the center of Russian power. Walking near its walls feels heavy with history. Decisions that shaped the world were made here. At night, Red Square transforms into a cinematic scene. Lights softly illuminate the buildings, footsteps echo across stone, and the city feels timeless. In winter, snow falls silently, creating a peaceful yet powerful atmosphere. Moscow's metro system adds another layer of beauty. Often described as underground palaces, the stations are decorated with marble floors, chandeliers, mosaics, and statues. Every station feels like an art gallery. Even daily travel here feels cinematic. Leaving Moscow, the journey moves towards Saint Petersburg, Russia's cultural and artistic soul. Built by Peter the Great, Saint Petersburg feels elegant, poetic, and European in style. The city is shaped by water, canals, rivers, and bridges create reflections that make every view feel like a painting. The Hermitage Museum, located inside the Winter Palace, is one of the largest and most important museums in the world. Walking through its endless halls feels overwhelming. Gold details, giant paintings, sculptures, and royal rooms reflect the luxury and ambition of Imperial Russia. It feels less like a museum and more like a journey through power and art. St. Petersburg changes dramatically with seasons. In summer, the city experiences the famous white nights, when the sun barely sets and the sky stays bright even at midnight. Streets fill with music, festivals, and people walking late into the night. The city feels alive and romantic. In winter, St. Petersburg becomes quiet and frozen. Snow covers rooftops, canals freeze, and the city feels soft and poetic. The cold air, pale light, and empty streets create a deeply emotional atmosphere. Beyond cities, Russia reveals its true scale through nature. Traveling east, the country opens into the taiga, one of the largest forest regions on Earth. Endless pine trees stretch beyond the horizon, rivers cut silently through the land, and wildlife moves freely. These forests feel ancient, untouched, and powerful. Further east lies Lake Baikal, one of the most magical places in Russia. It is the deepest and one of the oldest freshwater lakes in the world. In summer, its waters are crystal clear and deep blue. The air feels pure and cold even in sunlight. In winter, Lake Baikal freezes completely, turning into a massive surface of ice. Natural cracks form patterns like frozen lightning beneath the surface. The ice reflects the sky, creating surreal visuals. Walking on frozen Baikal feels unreal, as if standing on another planet. As travelers move deeper into the land, Siberia begins to dominate the journey. Siberia represents Russia's most extreme and powerful side. Long winters, heavy snowfall, and endless white landscapes define this region. Temperatures drop far below zero, and life becomes a test of survival. Despite the harsh climate, people here are strong and resilient. Small towns survive in isolation, connected by railways and frozen roads. Life moves slowly, shaped by seasons and patience. Siberia feels quiet, vast, and deeply humbling. Further north lies the Arctic Circle, where nature fully takes control. Winters here are dark and long, with weeks of complete night. Summers bring the midnight sun, where the sky never truly turns dark. Snow-covered tundra, frozen seas, and open skies create a feeling of isolation rarely found elsewhere. On clear nights, the northern lights appear, dancing across the sky in waves of green and purple. Watching them move silently above frozen land feels spiritual and unforgettable. One of Russia's greatest experiences is the legendary Trans-Siberian Railway. Stretching nearly 9,300 kilometers from Moscow to Vladivostok, it is the longest railway line in the world. Traveling on this train feels like watching a slow cinematic documentary. Forests, mountains, villages, rivers, and cities pass by the window. Each stop reveals a different culture, climate, and rhythm of life. From Europe to Asia, the Trans-Siberian journey shows the true scale and diversity of Russia. Russian culture feels deep, emotional, and reflective. Literature, music, and art often focus on struggle, survival, and the human soul. Writers explored pain, love, and identity. Classical music fills grand halls with emotion. Ballet performances show discipline, elegance, and strength. Food in Russia reflects climate and history. Warm soups, bread, dumplings, potatoes, and tea offer comfort against the cold. Meals feel simple but meaningful, often shared slowly. Food here is not about luxury, it is about warmth and survival. Despite its tough image, Russia has a quiet and poetic side. Snow falling softly on empty streets, golden church domes glowing in the winter light, frozen rivers stretching endlessly, these moments create deep beauty. In villages, life moves slowly. Wooden houses, smoke rising from chimneys, and long winter nights shape daily routines. People live close to nature, respecting its power. Seasons define Russia strongly. Summer is short but vibrant, filled with green forests and long daylight hours. Autumn paints the land in gold, red, and orange. Winter dominates everything with ice, snow, and silence. Spring arrives slowly, melting snow and bringing light back into cities. Russia is not an easy destination. It demands patience, respect, and curiosity. It is a place that challenges comfort and expectations. But for those who experience it, the reward is unforgettable. Russia is not just a place, it is a feeling. A feeling of cold air on your face, silence stretching endlessly, and history pressing heavily beneath your feet. This is a country that feels cold, powerful, and unreal, not because it lacks life, but because it is too vast, too deep, and too intense to fully understand in a single journey. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.